Hello, everyone. My name is Sherry Yang, and I'm currently a student at Bethel University. Today, we'll be talking about a student who has a parent incarcerated, and we'll just get right into it. So, we did this interview on December 3rd around 11:15 in the morning. I interviewed Maya Kirk. She's 13 years old and currently a student at SJ Academy. In her household, it's herself, Tia Gallion, which is her grandmother, Hope Kirk, which is her little sister, and Miranda Kirk, her mother. Michael Simmons is the person that referred me to Maya, and he is the behavioral specialist at SJ Academy. So Maya's pronouns are she and her. She's about 4'7" and has a thin build. On the day of their interview, I noticed that she had an oversized sweater on, a tank top, and cargo jeans. When she and I met, I noticed that she had really weary and dewy eyes. She stated that she couldn't focus in class and asked to take a break with Mr. Simmons. During conversation, I noticed that Maya was very approachable and communicative about what has been occurring outside of school grounds. Within Maya's family household system, Tia and Miranda, they have joint custody of Maya and Hope. The two sisters struggle with their relationship due to their different views on their parents. Austin Kirk, which is their father, he has been in and out of the girl's life and is currently incarcerated. Tia and Miranda, they don't like to talk about Austin, and they advise the two girls not to bring him up. Now Miranda is very concerned about Maya because she has been dealing with mental health since the family separation. Within Maya's community system, she does not feel supported with mental health services because they shared her confidential information. More particular In a more particular way, it was her school therapist, and so she has a really tough time trusting adults. Um, on the brighter side, she do find support through SJ Academy with her friends and at least three staffs. And she has one friend who she considers to be close with and often confides in. Now, there's layers to the presenting problem. Maya explained to me that she reached out to the county via email in hopes of receiving a photo of her father, who she has not seen in a year. The county responded with a photo which triggered Maya, and the reason for that was because she only known her father to be incarcerated a year ago, and she was hoping to see that photo. However, she received a photo that looked more recent, and she went to um, search his name up and found out that he had a warrant and he was recently just incarcerated. And so Maya was upset that her father did not make any attempts to reach out to her when he first got out of jail. She explained to me that Mr. Kick's methods consist of love bombing them, her and Hope, and then he would disappear and they would not know when they'll see their father again. The last problem that Maya brought up to me was confiding with her grandmother and mother. When she tries to, they both dismiss her. So Maya does show a good amount of strengths. Some particular is that she has significant endurance with her mental health, as she's been dealing with this pretty much her whole life. She created good methods of distracting herself. She finds comfort in her friends and the Korean culture. Resources that Maya has is suicide hotlines, and the reason for that is because of the school therapist that she used to go to. Um, she is not suicidal anymore, but she has those memorized. So the referral process between Mr. Simmons and I was he reached out to me on Google Chat and he gave me a brief summary of him and Maya's conversation. He advised that I meet with her as we had a separate meeting before prior to this. And so since she is familiar with me, Mr. Simmons believed that meeting with me again will help Maya become more comfortable and open up to me. With Maya's development, um, Her mother stated to her, which she does not believe is true, was that Mr. Kirk was high on the day of her birth. Um, Maya explains that because there is a lot of dislike with her father, her mom would say things. So this is just a thought, not completely sure if this is true or not. She would say that her childhood was dysfunctional. She felt like her parents were never there, sometimes feeling invincible to them. When she was 10 years old, her parents left home and Maya left her and Hope home alone. And Maya called her grandmother to report that it's been 6 hours and her parents still aren't home. And so her grandmother called CPS on Mrs. and Mr. Kirk after learning about their arrest. Due to this event, Maya becomes guardian of her sister and she feels obligated to protect her. Also, Maya does not have a close relationship with her parents, so she will call them by their first names, not mom or dad. And this even has been affecting her since. So, in Maya's family, she is the oldest of her family. Her family consists of her father, mother, herself, and her little sister. As of right now, her parents are separated. Her mother lives alone, while her father's housing is unknown. Maya would describe her father to be inconsistent and only do things in his best interest. She would describe her mother to be overprotective and is constantly worried about her. She does not express much about her grandmother or sister, but explains that she has a tough time sharing information and talking to them. So, some critical events to take note of is the parental neglect at a young age, her father continuously being incarcerated, and the anxiety attack after our session together, in which I will talk about. A little bit more about Maya is that she is not employed. She's currently a seventh grader at SJ Academy. Lily, Maya, and Hope are primarily in their grandmother's care, while her mother has visitation rights over the weekend. Her mother was incarcerated once when she was 10, while her father is a recurring felon with warrants. She does not use any alcohol or drugs. She has a few crushes, but she doesn't want to date. And as for medical, physical, and biological, Maya states that she used to be overweight, but she fell into a really bad depression. She fell into bad depression, pretty much, and lost 30 pounds. She says she's happy with her weight, but sometimes she's judged for being too thin. So for recreational, Maya loves to sing and dance to K-pop music. She admires the Asian culture and has integrated that into her race despite being another race. Religiously and spiritually, Maya's mother grew up Catholic and attended church up until high school. Maya said that her father never expressed any religious belief. Um, Given this, Maya she admires this, but she wants to seek her own spirituality rather than been given one. So prior psychological, social, and medical service, Maya has a history of suicide attempts and self-harming. Self-harm was a strategy to cope with her parents, more specifically her father. A year ago, she did try to kill herself at home, and she had to be hospitalized. Excuse me. Now we'll jump into the assessment portion. So, some problems and issues that I witnessed with Maya was that when we met for like the first half hour, she had a high intensity of anxiety for 20 minutes. So for that, we did deep breaths and hand squeezes. Maya also presented a various amounts of emotion. So it ranged from angry to feeling worried about her father. Each emotion ranged from 5 to 7 minutes. And after the meeting, when I sent her back to class, she had an anxiety attack for 5 minutes and could not attend class. So Maya's risk and protective factors, with exceptions, are listed down below. Although she struggles to trust adults, she reached out to school staff, showing that she is seeking a safe adult to talk to. With her anxiety attack, she accepted the support from me instead of running away or hiding. And despite her trauma, she is not using alcohol or drugs to distract her emotions. So, next we'll talk about contributing factors. So, this page is a little hefty, so let me break it down for you. In the first box, the first two boxes are going to explain personal factors related to some theories, and then the last box is the client system factors. So, starting with the first one, Maslow's hierarchy of needs in the stage of love and belonging. This can be identified as finding connections and intimacy with family and friendship. So, Maya struggles with finding love and belonging. She has a traumatic childhood that caused her depression, self harm, and suicide attempts. Maya is met with dismissiveness when she tries to express her emotions about her absent father, and she finds herself playing a parental role and a need to protect her younger sister. In the Piaget, Piaget sorry, I can't pronounce that, theory of cognitive development, Maya exhibits the formal operational stage. At this stage, adolescents develop abstract thinking and hypothetical reasoning. They begin to use deductive reasoning and draw certain conclusions based on specific information. So Maya knows her father to be inconsistent and always incarcerated. So when she received a photo of her father, she instantly assumed that he was reincarcerated. Then she searched up his criminal record, which validated her assumption as he had a warrant arrest out for him a few months ago. Now, in the client system factors that Maya faced is that she has a difficult time trusting adults due to prior breaches of confidentiality. She experiences emotional dysregulation, which shown through her anxiety attacks when it comes to her academics and personal problems colliding. She also has a difficult time focusing, and her anxiety heightens in the classroom because her mind is too occupied around the issues revolving her father. Now, recent situational factors were that photo that she received from the county that triggered her, as well as learning that her father is incarcerated again. And when she tries to talk to her grandmother or her mother about this, she is often dismissed. Some systemic factors consist of inconsistent parental presence and instability with her family system, which stems from the history of CPS involvement and parental incarceration. As a result, Maya lacks secure attachment figures in her early development. In other settings, Maya loses trust in mental health systems. So, next we'll talk about motivation and readiness stage of change. Using the TTM model, Maya is in the second stage, contemplation. At this age, the individual is aware of the situation and is considering change, but has yet to put a plan in place. Maya shows readiness by contacting Mr. Simmons when she realized how distraught she was. She opened up to me about what caused her to feel distressed and related topics that led up to this point. Although gaining trust is difficult for Maya, she does show interest and support, and she openly engages in our conversations, which shows me that she has a need to be heard and for someone to validate and sympathize with her. Some challenges and obstacles that Maya faced is one, she has a difficult time managing her emotions. Secondly, she feels a loss of emotional safety at home. Thirdly, she has a strained relationship with Hope, where she has an internal pressure to be strong for her sister but does not know how to approach it. And lastly, when conversations between Maya and I became too difficult to handle, she would change the subject as a distractor. So, quickly, we're going to do a risk assessment for Maya. Based on Maya's history and current presentation, she demonstrates elevated long term vulnerability due to many things, which I would go ahead and say. She has past instances of self harm and suicide attempts. She has significant history of depression and emotional dysregulation stemming from childhood trauma and parental incarceration. Excuse me. And currently, she's experiencing distress after learning about her father's absence and criminal behavior. Oh, I missed one. And situational stressors, which um, is a tension between her sister and her grandmother and mother. So, despite these challenges, Maya exhibits strong protective factors by seeking support from a trusted staff at SJ Academy. And she has close peers, relationships, and reflects on her emotions. Currently, Maya, she doesn't show any suicidal intent. Rather, she's receptive to support and healthier coping strategies. I would say overall, Maya's current risk level is assessed to be low to moderate, primarily driven by emotional overwhelm. So here's a quick case formulation with for Maya. Maya's current distress is caused by learning about her father's incarceration and a new criminal record. However, there are multiple layers to why this has impacted her. Her past experience shaped this current issue, and it stems from family trauma. Both of her parents were incarcerated when she was 10. Her father is a recurring felon and has been in and out of her life. She does not have a go to caregiver for emotional support, and she sees herself as host protector and feels that it's best to hide the truth about their father because she doesn't want Hope to go through what she went through as a child. She's still a child, but in her earlier years. And every time she tries to talk to Hope, she recognizes a lot of anger when they mention their father, so she just doesn't talk. Maya also results in avoid she results in avoidance coping strategies. Sorry, there's a typo in here. To disregard the conversation of interest. In Maya's development, she rapidly lost 30 pounds, fell in depression, became suicidal, and result in self-harm. She is often dysregulated, finding it difficult to attend to class. So after this assessment, Maya and I hypothesized that she should work on emotional healing to find closure from the identified issues with the understanding that this will be a long process. By finding closure and acceptance, she can only then she can accept her father's role in her life, while also learning how to support Hope more positively. Next, we'll cover the service contract that Maya and I made together. So we're going to talk about some issues. Maya addressed some issues, and she reports that she's feeling frustrated and overwhelmed by emotions when she thinks and hear about her father's absence. She's also uncertain about their relationship too. She expresses frustration about her differences and challenges with her younger sister. She reports that when she shares how she's feeling, she's typically dismissed by her caregivers. Maya also identifies that she wants to be more in control of her emotions and find better ways to communicate them. Now, what I identified was that based on Maya's assessment, she demonstrates consistent systems with emotional dysregulation that stems from her early childhood instability, disrupted attachment, and exposure to parental incarceration. Maya, she has a difficult time managing her emotions because she has a lack of support at home and in her early development stages as well. And all of these influence her functioning and um, her life in school. So, some issues that we agreed to work on was making small steps into healing and emotional regulation. So, working with her, we will find new and healthier coping strategies. Maya will continue to reach out for support and form positive connections with trusted adults. So, using the SMART goal, Maya will aim for the following goal. Over the next 5 weeks, Maya will write at least 2 letters each week to either her mother, father, grandma, sister in her journal, expressing her true emotions freely, or you could say her genuine feelings. At the end of each week, Maya and I will do a check in to reflect on her letters. So here's a quick evidence based research that I did. Um, in the book Annals of Behavior Medicine by Philip Ulrich and Susan, yes, 122 students were part of a journaling intervention study, and the results show that writers that focus on cognitions and emotions developed greater awareness of positive benefits of the stressful event than the other two groups. So here it just basically sums up that journaling can be an effective process and it provides emotional expression and cognitive processing. So here are some plans that Maya and I will take individually and together. So for Maya, we agree that her journal will remain confidential. She will only share parts of her letters that she is comfortable sharing. Maya will write letters at her own time, with the exception that she can write more if she wishes to do so. And then at the end of each week, Maya will meet with me to discuss the emotions she felt during, before, and after journaling letters. My task is that, for one, I agreed to this service um, agreement in written form, and I provided a copy to Maya as well. I agreed to provide a personal journal for Maya, remain confidential, support her needs throughout journaling, and weekly check in to debrief. Together, we agreed that we will reflect on the progress she is making with writing letters. Optionally, she will share what she has journaled and talk through those emotions with me. We will cover the effectiveness of journaling and what her letters are telling her about herself. To evaluate how she's doing with writing letters and journaling, after the 5 weeks, Maya and I will meet for an hour to evaluate the results of journaling. We'll discuss emotional growth, reflections, the results, and alternatives. And that is it from a presentation. Thank you so much for joining with me. Bye.